I nearly dropped my phone when the text from my daughter's teacher popped up on the screen. She said Chloe didn't want Sadie in the wedding. She said it would ruin everything. My heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat, disbelief washing over me as I stood in the hallway of Riverside Elementary. The air was thick with the smell of kids' paint and disinfectant, a strange mix that clung to my senses while my world tilted. Ruin everything. Sadie, my 9-year-old ray of sunshine, being called a ruin. A chill snaked down my spine. I gripped the phone tighter, staring at the words, trying to breathe. How can anyone say that about her? My Sadie. I'm Marcus Holloway, 40 years old, a man who's poured sweat and tears into building Holloway Builders from nothing right here in Portland. Success didn't come easy, especially not after losing my wife when Sadie was just 3. Cancer took her fast, left me alone with a toddler and a mountain of grief. But Sadie became my everything. Born with cerebral palsy, she gets around with a walker, one she's decorated herself with little stickers and ribbons. Her spirit, though, nothing holds that back. Her smile could light up the darkest day, and it's been my anchor through every storm. Right now, she was inside that classroom, finishing her weekly physical therapy with Tessa Brooks. Tessa is one of those rare souls who sees the strength in Sadie, not just the challenges. 3 days from now, I'm supposed to marry Chloe Bennett. Chloe's 35, a marketing director at a top-tier real estate firm, all sharp edges and stunning beauty. We met almost 2 years ago through work. A joint project turned into late-night coffees, then dinners, then something more. She swept in like a whirlwind, confident and ambitious, breathing life into the quiet routine Sadie and I had settled into. I thought she was the missing piece. Thought she'd fit into our little family. That's what I told myself, anyway. My phone buzzed again. Chloe this time. Hey, babe, don't forget 7 p.m. venue check. Caterer needs the final head count. I started typing a reply, my thumb hovering over the screen, but then the therapy room door swung open. Sadie wasn't out yet. It was Tessa, her face shadowed with something heavy. She motioned me over to a quiet corner, her voice low and hesitant. Marcus, I need to talk to you. Something's off with Sadie today. I stopped breathing for a second. Off how? What's wrong? She shifted, eyes flickering with unease. Sadie was upset in session. She told me Chloe talked to her yesterday. I waited, every muscle tensing. She said Chloe thinks being flower girl might be too hard for her. That could make things awkward for everyone. Tessa stumbled over the word awkward like it burned her tongue. Sadie's worried she won't be in the wedding anymore. She thinks she'll let you down. The world went silent. Awkward. My little girl, who'd been practicing her walker steps down our hallway for weeks, beaming about tossing petals at the wedding, was awkward to Chloe, the woman I was about to marry, the woman who'd be her stepmom. A punch to the gut would have hurt less. I mumbled a thanks to Tessa, my voice sounding far away, and glanced through the classroom window. Sadie was in there, giggling with another kid, her smile pure and unbroken. She didn't know the ugliness waiting out here, didn't know someone she trusted had just dimmed her light. Standing there, pieces started clicking in my head, sharp and unwanted. Chloe's faint impatience when Sadie needed extra time getting ready. Her subtle suggestions to let Jenna, our babysitter, handle Sadie during her big events. That insistence on a perfect, high-class wedding. I brushed it all off as quirks, as stress. How blind had I been? How long had I lied to myself, painting Chloe into a role she didn't want? Was this love? I felt just a bandage I'd slapped over my loneliness. Anger simmered low in my chest, mixing with a confusion that clawed at me. Everything I'd built, everything I believed, felt like it was cracking apart. Before we dive deeper into this mess, let me pause and connect with you out there. Where are you listening from today? Ever felt that sting of betrayal from someone you thought you knew? If this story's pulling you in, hit that subscribe button to stick with us. Your support keeps these tales alive. I turned back to the classroom door, waiting for Sadie to come out. My face stayed calm, a mask I perfected over years of hard days, but inside I'd made up my mind. Tonight, Chloe and I were talking. No excuses, no misunderstandings. I needed the truth, raw and unfiltered, even if it shattered me. Sadie deserved that much. I deserved it too. The drive to Regal Heights felt endless. Portland city lights blurred past my windshield, but all I could see was Sadie's face, her little voice echoing in my head about letting me down. My hands gripped the steering wheel too tight, knuckles white against the leather. I left Sadie with Jenna, our babysitter, told her I'd be back soon. Needed to keep things normal for my girl, even as my insides churned with something dark and restless. The hotel loomed ahead, all glass and glamour. Its grand ballroom sparkled with crystal chandeliers, the kind of place Chloe had dreamed of for our wedding. A perfect stage for a perfect day. Tonight, that shine just made my stomach twist. I stepped inside, the hum of staff prepping tables buzzing around me. Chloe was there already, radiant in a tailored dress that screamed money and power. She spotted me, flashed that polished smile. "Marcus, you made it. I was just going over the floral layout." I cut her off, voice low but sharp. "Chloe, we need to talk." "About Sadie." Her smile faltered just for a second. "Oh, that. I was planning to bring it up tonight." She grabbed my arm, pulled me to a quieter corner near the floor-to-ceiling windows. City lights glittered outside, cold and distant. Her tone dropped, smooth but edged. "Look, I've been thinking. The ceremony might be too much for Sadie. All those eyes on her, 250 guests, big names like the governor, folks from Grayson Developments. It could stress her out." I stared at her, searching those green eyes I used to lose myself in. "Stress her out, or stress you out." She blinked, then sighed, mask slipping. "Fine, Marcus. You want the real deal?" "Yes, I don't think it's a good look. A kid hobbling down the aisle with that walker, tripping over pedals. It'll ruin the moment. It'll ruin the photos. People will talk, and not in a good way." Her voice rose, sharp and unfiltered, the control she always wore cracking wide open. My chest went cold. "Sadie's my daughter, Chloe. She's part of me. Marry me, you marry her too." She stepped closer, hand on my sleeve, tone softening but firm. "I get that, but this is our day, Marcus. A chance to lock in connections I've worked years for. Henderson from Grayson could greenlight my next promotion. One awkward stumble, and he'll remember that instead of me." Her eyes flicked around, like she was already picturing the pitying stares. I pulled my arm free, voice steady but ice cold. "She's not an awkward stumble. She's my kid." Chloe's jaw tightened. She opened her mouth, then stopped as a waiter passed by. Lowered her voice again, almost a hiss. "Marcus, don't make this harder than it needs to be. I'm not saying she's out of our lives. Just the wedding. Jenna can sit with her in the back. It's practical. Practical." That word hit me like a slap. I reached for my phone, fingers moving before I could second-guess it. Chloe frowned. "What are you doing?" I dialed the hotel's event line, kept my eyes locked on hers. "Hello, events desk. This is Marcus Holloway. I'm canceling the Holloway-Bennett wedding this Saturday. Confirmation number's on file. Charge whatever fees you need." Her face went pale, then red. "Marcus, stop." She lunged, grabbed for the phone, nails digging into my wrist. "You can't. Henderson's in the lobby right now. I'm meeting him in 10 minutes. This is my shot. You're torching it." Her voice cracked, desperation spilling out, raw and ugly. Not desperation for us, for her career. That truth sank in deep, a blade twisting. I yanked the phone back, turned away. "Yes, full cancellation. Notify the staff." "Thanks." I hung up, the line going dead as the air between us thickened. Chloe's breath hitched, eyes wild. "Get out," I said, quiet but final. "You'll regret this, Marcus. You'll regret this." She spat the words, tears of fury streaking her mascara, then stormed off, heels clicking like gunfire on the marble floor. Her silhouette vanished into the lobby, chasing her precious Henderson. I stood there, alone in that glittering room, the weight of 2 years crashing down. Love, plans, dreams, all dust in minutes. Pain throbbed in my chest, sharp and real, but beneath it, a strange calm bloomed. I'd chosen Sadie. I'd chosen right. The emptiness didn't scare me half as much as losing her trust would have. Back home, Sadie was curled up on the couch, crayons scattered around her. Jenna waved goodnight, slipped out. I knelt beside my girl, her big eyes searching mine. "Daddy, is everything okay?" I pulled her close, breathed in the strawberry scent of her shampoo. "Yeah, princess. Wedding's off. Chloe wasn't the right fit for us." Her face crumpled. "Because of me. Because I'm slow." "No," I said, firm, tilting her chin up. "Never because of you. Because she didn't see how incredible you are. We're the best team. You and me. Always will be." She nodded, small arms wrapping around my neck, and I felt her relax against me. That hug was worth more than any chandelier-lit vow. Lying awake later, I replayed Chloe's words. Ruin the photos. Practical. They stung, but they'd set me free. Tomorrow, I'd face the fallout. Tonight, I'd hold on to the one thing that mattered. Sadie's soft snores drifted from her room, a lifeline pulling me through the wreckage. The days after canceling the wedding hit hard. Word spread fast in Portland's tight-knit business circles. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing, clients and colleagues fishing for details I didn't want to give. I kept it simple when I had to answer. Personal reasons, I'd say, voice flat, then hang up. Didn't owe anyone an explanation. Not when it was about Sadie. The fallout wasn't just gossip. A big contract tied to Chloe's firm vanished overnight. Pulled without a word. I saw the numbers flash red on my desk, a gut punch to Holloway Builders. Years of grinding to build something solid, and one choice cost me a chunk of it. Didn't regret it, though. Not for a second. Sadie's worth more than any deal. Then came a surprise. My assistant patched through a call from Grayson Developments. The voice on the line was steady, warm even. "Marcus, this is Grayson. Heard what happened. Takes guts to put family first. I like to talk about a project. A man who stands by his kid is someone I trust with my business." I sat back, stunned. Grayson's a heavy hitter, a name Chloe had dropped to impress me. Now he was reaching out because I'd walked away from her. A lifeline I hadn't expected. Weeks passed. Life settled into a shaky new rhythm. Sadie bounced back fast, her laughter filling our house again. I was still picking up pieces, though, when Tessa showed up one afternoon. She called ahead, said she wanted to check on Sadie. I welcomed her in, grateful for her quiet steadiness. Sadie was in her room, lost in a coloring book, so Tessa and I sat in the kitchen. Coffee steamed between us. She fidgeted with her mug, then leaned in. "Marcus, there's something else. I didn't mention it before because it didn't click until now." I tensed, waiting. "Go on." She took a breath. "A while back, I picked Sadie up early for a session. Chloe was there, on the phone in the hall. She sounded annoyed, said something about needing to wait a little longer. Then she mentioned having access to everything after the wedding. I thought it was weird, but it didn't hit me until after. Well, everything. Her words landed like a brick. Access to everything. Chloe poking around my office lately flashed through my mind. Questions about project bids, bank logins, all casual until now. A sick feeling coiled in my gut. I thanked Tessa, kept my face neutral, but my thoughts raced. Had I missed more than just her coldness towards Sadie? That night, I called Jasper Cole. He's been my rock since college, the guy who keeps Holloway Builders' finances tight and knows people who know things. I paced my living room, phone pressed to my ear. "Jasper, I need a favor. Off the books. Something's not right with Chloe." He didn't hesitate. Laid out for me. I told him about Tessa's story, my suspicions. He promised to dig. Said he tapped some old contact from his security days. I hung up, staring out at the dark yard, feeling the walls I'd built around my life start to crumble. Jasper showed up a few days later, face grim. He dropped into my office chair, slid a folder across the desk. "Marcus, this is bad. Worse than bad." I flipped it open. Logs of unauthorized logins to our company servers stare back at me, all traced to Chloe's home IP. She'd been snooping for months, targeting client lists, bid details, stuff that could sink us if it leaked. My pulse hammered. It got uglier. Jasper had pulled phone records. Dozens of calls between Chloe and Trent Maddox. Her ex she'd sworn was history. Trent worked for Victor Ramsey now, a cutthroat developer who'd tried to undercut me for years. Then Jasper handed me the kicker. An email, cracked from some encrypted backup Chloe thought was safe. She'd written to Trent. "Plan B's ready. If the wedding flops, we sell this to Ramsey. Double the asking price. I want him crushed, not just bled dry." Sent 2 weeks before the big day. Crushed, not just used. Destroyed. My hands shook, the paper crinkling under my grip. She hadn't just played me for a payout. She'd had a fallback to bury me if I didn't toe the line. The depth of it, the calculated venom, left me reeling. I'd slept next to that. Plan a life with it. Anger burned through the shock, cold and focused. Betrayal's one thing. This was war. She'd gone after my company, my daughter's future. Everything I'd bled for. I'd been too soft, too trusting. No more. I met Jasper's eyes. They're targeting something big. We need to figure out what Ramsey's after. Get ahead of this. He nodded, already pulling out his phone. "I've got people who can trace their next move. Will it back, Marcus." Hard. I leaned back, the room silent except for my breathing. Outside, Sadie's laughter floated in from the yard, pure and untouched by this mess. That sound steeled me. They'd crossed a line I couldn't forgive. Whatever came next, I'd fight. For her. For us. I threw myself into the Grayson project like it was a lifeline. The old paper mill site by the river became our battleground, a chance to turn Chloe's betrayal into something good. We'd transform it into a modern complex, anchored by an adaptive sports and rec center, a place where kids like Sadie could shine. Grayson loved the idea, named it after his brother Miles, a 40-something guy with Down syndrome who'd taken to Sadie like a big brother. They'd be our ambassadors, their faces on every poster. It felt right, building something for them, for us. But Ramsey's crew didn't sit still. Trouble started fast. Tessa called me one morning, voice shaky. Someone broke into my car last night. Didn't take anything, just messed up my files. I told her to report it, tighten security around Sadie's school. Then fake complaints hit my work sites. Safety violations, permits out of order, all anonymous but enough to stall progress. Online, rumors swirled about Holloway builders cutting corners, poisoning the project's buzz. They were hitting from every angle, testing my limits. Late one night, my phone lit up with a blocked number. I answered, gut already sinking. A distorted voice rasped through. Holloway, you're pushing too far. Drop the mill project, or your little girl pays. My blood froze. Sadie. They dared say her name. Fear spiked hard, then turned to rage. I kept my tone even. I'll think it over. Hung up, hands trembling as I saved the recording. Called Jasper right after. They're threatening Sadie. We're ending this now. Jasper's team traced the call to a burner, no solid link, but it lit a fire under us. I pitched Grayson on a gala to unveil the rec center plans. A big, public flex to draw Ramsey out. He agreed, booked a secure venue downtown, top-tier cameras and guards in place. Jasper looped in an FBI contact from his old network, fed them everything. The threats, Chloe's emails, the server breaches. They'd watch the event, ready to move if Ramsey's people bit the bait we'd set. Fake files, laced with trackers, planted for Trent to snatch. The night of the gala arrived. The room glowed with soft lights, packed with Portland's elite. Sadie sat on stage in a shimmering blue dress, her walker tucked beside her. Miles grinned next to her, waving at the crowd. I hovered nearby, eyes scanning every face. Grayson kicked things off, his speech about inclusion hitting every heart in the room. Then Sadie took the mic. Her voice rang clear. I want a place where no kid sits out because they're different. My dad made that happen. Pride swelled in my chest, drowning out the nerves. Halfway through, I spotted them. Ramsey and Trent, lurking near the tech booth. Jasper texted me. They're in. I nodded to the shadows where the feds waited. Sadie finished, applause thundering, and the lights dimmed for a video. That's what happened. Trent slipped a drive into the system, Ramsey whispering orders. Before the screen flickered, plainclothes agents swarmed them. Hands cuffed, faces pale, they were dragged out fast. The crowd barely noticed, too caught up in the promo reel. I exhaled, legs shaky but steady. Chloe wasn't there. Smart enough to stay clear, maybe. Didn't matter. The feds had her emails, Trent's confession after they flipped him. My lawyer drafted a deal. Leave Portland for good, sign a gag order, or face charges with arrest. She took it, packed up, gone within a week. I heard later she'd landed in Denver, chasing a fresh start. Good riddance. Backstage, I pulled Sadie into a hug. You were amazing up there, princess. She beamed. Did I do good, Daddy? Better than good. You're my hero. Tessa joined us, her smile soft. She'd been a rock through it all, her quiet strength a lifeline I hadn't known I needed. Later, I stood alone by a window, city lights sprawling below. Ramsey and Trent in cuffs should have felt like victory. It did mostly, but there was a weight too. I played their game, set traps, bent rules. Won sure, but at a cost. My innocence, maybe. That naive guy who trusted too easy was gone. I fought for Sadie, for the life we deserved, and I'd do it again. Still, the bitterness lingered, a shadow I couldn't shake. Jasper clapped my shoulder. Clean sweep, man. Feds say it's airtight. I nodded, forcing a smile. Watched Sadie giggle with Miles across the room, Tessa ruffling her hair. That sight burned away the dark. They'd come for my family. I'd stop them. Not just for me, but for her. For every kid like her. That was enough. A year slipped by after that wild night, at the gala. Life found a new groove, softer, steadier. Tessa and I grew closer, not in a rush, but natural like roots digging deeper over time. She'd been there, through the chaos, her calm cutting through my storm. Love snuck up on me, real and quiet. Nothing like the flash Chloe had dangled. We decided to tie the knot, kept it small. Just 45 people, family and friends who'd stuck by us, in a garden overlooking the Willamette River. No glitz, no guest list padded with power players. Sadie led the way as flower girl, her walker decked out with blue silk ribbons she'd picked herself. She moved slow but sure, petals fluttering behind her, and I swear the sun shone brighter just for her. The rec center took off. Portland embraced it, headlines praising its purpose. Kids swarmed the open house, Sadie and Miles cutting the ribbon side by side, their grins plastered across every local paper. Grayson and I watched from the sidelines, a partnership forged in trust, turning into something bigger than either of us planned. Success felt good, clean, like I'd finally built something that mattered. Ramsey didn't fare so well. The feds nailed him with a 7-year sentence, fraud and extortion stacking up from years of dirty deals. His empire got carved up, sold off to pay debts. Trent cut a plea, dodged jail, but the industry blackballed him. Last I heard, he was hauling boxes in some nowhere town, a shadow of the slick guy he'd been. Chloe vanished to Denver, scraping by in a low-rent gig. Word trickled back she'd tried pitching herself as a victim, but no one bought it. Her shine was gone, tarnished for good. Not everyone cheered me, though. Whispers circled Portland's business crowd. Marcus Holloway plays hardball, they'd say. Too ruthless, too cunning with those traps. It stung, hearing that. I'd stayed legal, sure, but the moves I'd pulled left a mark on how people saw me. Tessa caught me brooding over it one night, her hand finding mine by the riverbank. She didn't sugarcoat it. You did what you had to. Doesn't mean you have to like who it made you. Her words stuck, a mirror I couldn't dodge. Then Sadie settled it. I was sorting site plans at home when she shuffled in, arms wrapping around me from behind. Daddy, my friends at school say you're tough. They heard you stop bad guys. I'm proud of you. You kept us safe. Her voice, small but fierce, melted the doubt. I turned, hugged her tight. That's all I needed. Her pride outweighed any critic's jab. One evening, I got a call that spiked my pulse. Jasper's FBI buddy. Ramsey's up for early release. Thought you'd want a heads up. I froze, old anger flaring. Him back on the streets felt wrong, a threat creeping close again. Tessa saw my face, sat me down. He's done, Marcus. Let it go. She was right. I deleted the voicemail, let the past stay buried. Sadie didn't need me fighting ghosts. Looking back, I've changed. That guy who fell for Chloe's charm, who ignored the cracks, he's long gone. I learned to trust my gut, to spot the masks people wear. Happiness isn't in big contracts or fancy venues. It's in Sadie's squeal as she races miles at the center, in Tessa's steady grip on my hand, in knowing the people around me are real. I almost lost it all chasing a lie. Never again. Here's what I figured out. People show you who they are early if you're willing to see it. Believe them then, not later when it's messy. Protect what's yours, the stuff that counts. Life doesn't need flawless snapshots for some magazine spread. It needs the messy, true moments, the ones full of heart, even if they're rough around the edges. The wedding day sealed it. Sadie beamed at me under the garden arch, Tessa beside her in a simple dress that glowed against the sunset. I lifted Sadie for photos, her walker front and center, ribbons catching the breeze. Tessa laughed. Keep those in the shot. They're her. They're us. That picture, the three of us grinning, messy and alive, beat any stage perfection Chloe ever chased. And that's our story wrapped up. Hope it hit you somewhere deep. Tell us how it landed for you down below. Love the ride. Drop a like, hit subscribe, keep us rolling for the next one. Thanks for hanging with me through this. Catch you in the next tale.